Hello, Reformers, and welcome back to Prophecy of Pendor. Now, when we left off, we had discovered that, well, we weren't able to acquire any more units from the Shadow Legion, but we have recovered a couple of Barclay Sappers from a nearby tavern, as well as some young nobles, and we leveled up one of our Feared's Vein units into a Berserker, which is wonderful. Now, the only other thing we have to do is level up our Ds slightly. And, well, what are we going to do here? I actually have no idea. Well, some strength, I suppose, would help him out, as well as some iron flesh. I suppose that's fine. And we are now in pursuit of a Deshar Principality's vassal. As we can see here, he actually does have quite a bit of prisoners, and we're going to be hopefully making good use of them. So let us head on in there and try to get a little bit more renown. That is exactly what we're attempting to do right now. Obviously, I have no castle with which to station any units in, so we will not be able to hunt any Jatu parties or anything along those lines, because obviously we currently do not have any garrison, and we are unable to do that right now, which is unfortunate. But as you can probably see, I have changed my weapon. I am no longer using an axe, I am using this Deshar saber because it has a huge amount of reach, and I feel like the reach would probably help us out a great deal. Now, obviously, these guys seemingly have decided just to charge straight on in, which I have to say is a little disappointing, because I was really hoping we would be able to deal some damage to them beforehand. But, yes, it appears they just wanted to take us unawares, and as a result, it appears many of their Dust Riders are dealing considerable damage. And obviously, we are getting a chance to try out our new sword as well. Obviously, now my horse is going to die, most likely. Isn't it? Yep, it is going to die. And we are probably going to be taken out very, very soon, are we not? Maybe. Maybe. Yep, there we go. Well, obviously we have the Deshar Bladesman and a couple of Scorpion Assassins after us, but our companions are doing well. As you can see, Donovan is leveling up, and we do have a couple of other level ups in our companions' ranks as well. At least our units are doing okay. That is really all I desire right now. Otherwise, nothing really to worry about here. Even if I do get taken out, who really cares? It doesn't really matter, to be honest, because that means that one of our potential other units was not going to die as a result anyway. So I think that's perfectly fine, a perfectly fine trade-off, should I say. And we are going to eliminate the remaining 5 units. So Jocelyn is getting quite a few kills right there. Do appreciate that. And they will eliminate the last remaining unit, who is over there. There we go. Fantastic. Okay, well, we did lose one additional heretic worshipper just at the end there, which I suppose is a little unfortunate, but 12 renown. I will definitely trade all of these units for 12 renown. Even if it is a Shadow Legion Centurion, it doesn't really matter, because we are eventually going to become a member of the knighthood, and we'll have, well, hopefully 50 or more of those guys in our army, which would be fantastic. So let's take this guy prisoner, and we'll just take a couple of these units. We did lose a couple, so it's nice to be able to recuperate those losses as much as we can, at least. And now we will just be capturing a couple of prisoners ourselves. And, well, we now have 100. Well, that's actually fantastic. So now, what do we want to do? Well, Donovan leveled up. Oh, I actually thought someone else leveled up as well. I think... Oh, we did. Of course. Yes, we leveled up. Well, that's good to know, isn't it? That's very good to know. So let's let our hero select everything there that they want. And we'll be taking basically everything else. As you can see, we are using a fine Deshar saber. It is, in my opinion, a rather good weapon. As you could tell there, we actually did kill a Deshar Scorpion Assassin, which I have to admit was quite impressive, considering I was not expecting that much damage from it, but luckily enough we were able to do just that. And, well, what else do we want to get with Donovan here? Well, I suppose riding skill is going to pay off in the end, because he is eventually maybe going to be able to use a Noldor horse. Obviously, we also need to gain some riding skill as well for that very purpose. And as a result, I think we are actually going to be... Oh, well, there's Sarah leveling up as well. And what are we going to be doing? Well, I think some more strength would probably help us out, and we'll go for some additional riding. And what else do we want to get? Well, I suppose some throwing weapon proficiency as well. Even though we only have 2 in horse archery, I would like to get a little bit more just to make sure that we are perfectly fine in that case. And now that we have 100 units, I feel as though we might be able to take on a medium-sized vassal. Like this guy, for example. He has 121 units. How many Scorpion Assassins? Only 6. So in actual fact, we will be able to take this guy on without too many difficulties, I think. And he is going to be giving us a good amount of renown as well. So let's see if we're able to do this. We only have 96, do bear that in mind, 96 units available right now. But I think we should be fine. As we see here, the battle advantage, thanks to our tactics, is even. So we have exactly the same units on the battlefield as our opponent. And we are going to be placing our archers over there, infantry in front. Oh yes, that reminds me, I did not turn off the formations. That is a little disappointing, but we are going to hopefully be able to get that done after this particular bout. Obviously, we are going to have a couple of difficulties with our archers right now. They are seeming to not be incredibly responsive, not as responsive as I would like, of course. And I'm going to be telling them to stand a little bit closer here. And let's see whether we're able to do some good damage. Okay, well, yes, it appears as though their cavalry is just charging straight on in here. We are going to be, I think, charging our cavalry in as well, because we just want to be able to take out their cavalry, and then we'll be able to sack their archers as much as we possibly can. Obviously, I am distracting quite a few of them as well, which I have to say is very, very good. And we'll see if we can deal some damage here. Obviously, I do need to get used to this sword. Do bear that in mind. So it may take me a little bit of time just to get used to it, and then we'll be able to get a couple of kills, get some much needed experience, and we'll be heading on from there. Obviously, I'm going to attempt to eliminate many of their horses as well. Wow, these guys are really turtling in the middle here. I have to say I'm not incredibly pleased with that, that's for sure. But let's just see what we're able to do. So I think our archers probably could use a little bit of repositioning right there. Now let's see. Yes, it appears as though many of the distractions that we are currently causing is dealing devastating amounts of disruption to our opponent. Let's see if we're able to take that guy out. Thank you very much. Now let's see if we can assist here. There we go. And Julia actually advanced in level from that kill, so I suppose that is all due to me actually helping her out. But, well, whatever the case, she was taken out 1 second after the fact, and I need to be very careful about being here. That is for sure. Even though we have an amazing shield, it is not really going to help us if all we can do is run into the enemy archers. So we haven't really lost that many units, and our archers are now advancing. They are now advancing on the opponent, and we will hopefully be able to eliminate these guys. This guy's going to be a little bit difficult. I was thinking that he was going to be difficult, but perhaps not. Okay, so they are attempting to shoot us. Hopefully our shield will protect us for the foreseeable future. And we're going to see what we can do here. No. Yes. Okay, a little bit of damage there. I am probably going to be dying any time now, so need to just distract a little bit more. And yes, obviously run into a much needed distraction as in a horse. Yes. Fantastic, isn't it? Okay, so let's see what we're able to do here. Not much, in actual fact. Wow, the dervishes seem to be quite good. And obviously we do have a very long sword now, so the sword really did not help us out in that regard anyway. We have lost 25 units so far, but we are going to be gaining a very large amount of renown in this particular fight. And I think that's really quite good. So I'm not too unhappy about that. And as we can see, we're not really losing any units that we are going to miss. Even though we have lost a couple of Shadow Legion, Centurions, and Marinus units, I really do not think that is going to make too much difference. I know many of you like to min-max in this game, but I am just after the enjoyment. So, you know, to each his own, I suppose. But whatever the case, I think that is it. Yes, one enemy remains, and that will be that. How much renown are we going to gain? Hopefully quite a lot. Let's see. Yes, 23 renown. Very nice. We need to make some really good renown gains now. Oh, yes, we actually did lose 5 Shadow Legion units right there, and another Shadow Legion Centurion too. and a couple of others here, but I don't think that's too bad. And we had 27 wounded, and we killed a huge amount of them, which is great. Unfortunately, he was able to escape, but we can take these brigands and highwaymen and various other units here. There we go. And now maybe we can... Ooh, that's actually rather nice. It's a balanced heavy Deshar saber. Well, that does do more damage, but it is a lot slower, and it is quite large as well. The weapon reach is very good. I suppose I will take it just for interest's sake, but right now I don't think we're going to be using that anytime soon. I would like to be able to fight some Singalian slavers, but it's not looking good so far, is it? So, I think it probably would be a good idea to head back to Empire territory, rest up a little bit, level up our units, and, oh yes, of course, we do want to ransom this fellow too. So, yes, there we go, 5,000 dinars, off you go. And, wow, we have a peasant revolt army over there as well, who are mainly deserters. Deserters from every single faction. Well, that's rather interesting. And we do have now a particular unit that is coming after us with some Singalian temptresses in tow. So, probably don't want to be dealing with them just now. And instead, we are just going to head into Janos. Maybe we can actually do another Shadow Legion quest, because we do have the opportunity to do that, I think. But yes, let's just rest for a little bit of time here until the next day, and then I will be heading into the marketplace. There we go. And now we'll sell a couple of things here. Nothing really to worry about. There we go. And we're going to be selling that and this. Thank you. There's the heavy Ravenstern axe, which we are still going to be using at some point. I'm just keeping it there just in case. And everything else we can pretty much sell. I'm going to be selling that Jatu Honor Lance too. And we have another horse, which I will also be selling, of course. So let's try and buy a little bit of food. And we'll try and head into the tavern. I was actually going to leave, but I want to head over here to maybe get this noble guy. There we go. Oh, very nice indeed. 9 of them. And now we can level up a couple of units. Oh yes, fantastic. That is very, very nice. Okay, let's get some more Berserkers there. Let's get some Fierdsvane Heavy Archers. Hero Adventurer, very nice. Some more Armored Crossbowmen. We actually have 14 of those, if you can believe it. Actually, remarkable. And as they do a lot of damage, I am very happy about that. So, let's level up Sarah's strength a little bit more. And Adiz is going to get his strength up. And another point in Power Strike. And Julia is going to get another point in Intelligence, and what? Well, Iron Flesh, I suppose, and another point in Shield. She does want to be able to use one of those Empire Immortal Shields at some point as well. And now let's see here. Is every one of our companions marked as cavalry? Yes, they are. Thank you. Okay, so let's head into the Pendor game options, and we're going to be turning off battle formations, because obviously that seems to make somewhat of a difficulty when it comes to our archers standing in front of our infantry. So hopefully that's going to make a good difference there. And take an action. Do I want to do anything? Well, I would like to actually find the book merchant so that I can read some books, because that will give us some much needed skill improvements. So I'm going to head on over to Sez, because we may indeed be able to do a Shadow Legion quest, which would be rather nice. Because, well, obviously we've lost a couple of Shadow Legion units, and it would be nice to gain a couple more, so why not? We'll try and see whether we can do that. And we actually do have some Snake Cult Doom Riders, which are in the presence of Sez. Well, in the vicinity, shall we say. So that's actually pretty nice. Unfortunately, they have a rather high spotting skill by the looks of things. They were able to see us relatively easily. And I'm quite disappointed that the Empire vassals really are not fielding very many units right now. So I can only assume it's because of this army right here that has an overwhelming amount of forces. Well, we're going to have to deal with that. Oh, the Deshar and the Fierdsvane have made peace. Well, that's pretty nice, I suppose. And we'll be heading in to the tavern here, because I'd like to try and see if we can find maybe a ransom broker, maybe something like that, but, well, whatever the case, we're just going to get a couple of young nobles there, and we're going to be speaking to this guy. Is there anything? Oh, yes, there we go. I can hunt down your enemies. Yes, why not? Let me see if I can do that. So how many days do we have? Oh, and it's actually 3,600, so not too bad. We will be able to do that with 2, I think. Yeah, 2 parties. Or maybe just 1, dependent on the size of it, of course. So let's just head on over to the snake cult that we saw beforehand. Not this one, thank you. But I would like to head over here and maybe we will find them. It would be fantastic if we could, but if we can't, then I'm going to have to, well, search a little bit more in depth and we'll see where we go from there. Obviously, these guys right here are maybe herding the snake cult towards us, so I'm going to assume that maybe they have gone in this direction. They would not run past all of those Empire vassals, surely. Well, there's some forest bandits. They're not going to be too useful. Okay. Ah, there they are. Fantastic. Okay, so there they are, and all we need to do is engage them. Please do not let there be any snake cult armies around. Nope, it appears not. They want to drink our blood. Well, that's not too pleasant. But we do have a renown value of 9 for this particular fight. And so let's be... yeah, they're just going to charge straight on in, aren't they? That's not very good. Okay, so let's get our archers there, infantry there, and I suppose our cavalry will have to follow us, but really, this is not very good, because this is a mountainous area, and mountainous areas are terrible for cavalry, which is good for us in a way, because they actually have a huge amount of cavalry, but it's also pretty terrible, because now we have to fight right where we are, and they have a huge amount of Anaconda Knights by the looks of things too. Okay, well that fellow particularly blocked us, not incredibly happy about that. Let's see what we're able to do here. Oh, nothing, because, of course, I got shot. And that was a headshot. So, yes. Fantastic, isn't it? Yes. As soon as you decide to engage the snake cult, this is what happens, especially seeing as the AI decided to be completely brain dead and decided just to charge straight on in there. Yeah, probably not great, but they are going to end up losing as a result, so that's not too bad, I suppose. Yeah. Well, we'll see. We will see. I hope that they are all charging. Yes, everyone seems to be charging, but these guys here, yes. This is exactly my point. The AI is now brain dead for no reason. There we go. He is now running. That's fantastic. That fellow is getting off his mount for no apparent reason. Because, well, we just have to prove that the AI is just fantastic. Oh, yes. Well, whatever the case, we did get taken out, and it was by a headshot, so I suppose that is nothing really to be too disappointed about, because even if we had died a slow death, at least we would have been able to contribute to the fight at some point anyway. But right now it doesn't seem to be the case, but we were able to eliminate all of them, and we only lost 17 in the process, and many of them were, well, not incredible units, so nothing really to worry about. Let's see, Julia is equipping some mail mittens. Okay, well, we're going to be taking the rest here. There we go. And now we can actually see, what do we have? Wow, that gave us exactly the amount that we needed, and we can head straight back to the Shadow Legion fellow and complete our quest. So let us just do that. Some deserters being chased by a Legatus unit there. Well, we're not going to be interrupting with him, that's for sure. So let's try and get a couple more of these guys, Pendor recruits, young Salian adventurers, and we'll be heading into Sez. Oh, there's actually a tournament here. That might be good to do, but we are currently very low on HP, so probably not the best idea. So, yeah, how much space do we have? Enough space. So let's go into the castle, speak to this fellow. I have bounties to claim. There we go. And some Shadow Legion Mariners units have joined us, and their relation has increased, and they gave us a little bit of money as well. So how many units did actually join us? 8 of them. Fantastic. So there we go. We've gained a couple more Shadow Legion units, and with that I will be ending this episode off here. And so I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.